Hello, this is Ralph Fucetola JD, the Vitamin Lawyer, and I'm here today with my good friend, nutritionist, and person who's helping me coordinate the Vitamin Lawyer webinar series, Sher Komisar. Hello, Sher.
Hello, Ralph. How are you? Ralph, I really want to thank you for doing this webinar system training, which allows me to be more helpful to companies and healthcare practitioners who really need the Vitamin Lawyer certification.
Thank you, Sher. The purpose of this particular video is to show Sher and to show all of you the features of the private website that we've set up for the Vitamin Lawyer certification program. And I'm going to ask Sher and I are going to turn off our videos now so that you can see the full screen, folks. Sher, let's do that video thing turn off. And you'll still be able to see the screen because we're sharing screens via Skype. Skype is amazing, folks. It really is. All right. The first thing you see on your screen is probably the first website that you came across in coming to the Vitamin Lawyer certification program, and that is my vitaminindustrycompliance.com webpage. And this is the introductory page that explains the program. Let's just scroll down a little bit, and you'll see right here it says Private Member Entry. Click here. This is where you'd go to get to the private site for the webinar system. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm entering it. You'll see this is the initial page. By the way, there's a great video here of Dr. Ed Group talking about what he and his staff learned from the program. Ought to take a look at it. When you open up the webinar program website, which is, by the way, www.vitaminlawyer.com/webinar, you get the introductory page. And of course, it has a place for you to put in your username and password. Once you've signed up to the system, that's what you get. Your company gets username and password, and your employees and you get access to the system. So I'm going to put in my username, which is Vitamin Lawyer, and I'm going to put in my secret password. There we go, and I'm going to log in. I'm going to tell it to remember me, and I'm going to log in. Notice before I log in, all you have on here is the home page and the terms of use. Terms of use home page, of course the video, and a few other things. Once you log in, you now have a rather different page. You have, in fact, an entire series of items on the menu, both on the top and on the side menu. And that's really where we're going to start. Sher, what I have to do is we start with looking at the different pages here. There's, of course, the welcome page that we were on. And then there are a series of pages. For example, let's take a look at the last page first. This is the Pell Forum access. Pell is practical, ethical, and legal webinars, the overall concept behind the Vitamin Lawyer certification program. And the webinar page for follow-up is the Yahoo Group Pell webinars, to which you become a member after you've been certified, and where you can ask questions and I can post updates. And of course, it just brings you to a regular Yahoo Group page, which I'll open up just to show it to you. It has the usual messages and photos and links and files. Very useful information on this page. All right. Back now to the main page of the webinar system. There are a number of pages here that are useful to look at. Of course, there is the initial standard operating procedure webinar page. And each of the webinar pages basically follow the same format. There is an introductory paragraph. There is the actual webinar, which is a slide presentation with audio. And in this case of this particular webinar, it's 23 minutes. And then there is a place for you to download the Standard Operating Procedure Manual, because this is the first or introductory webinar in the SOP series. And then there's a place for you to download the ebook. In each case, the ebook has on it exactly the same words as you'll find on the slide presentation. So everything reinforces everything else. There's the introductory webinar for the SOPs. There's the second section, the third section. There's the conclusion, and there is the record keeping SOP number 5, which is an essential part of the training, and it includes not just the webinar itself, but of course it includes an ebook as well, specifically about record keeping. And that particular ebook lists all of the records that the manufacturer and the label owner are required to keep in the good manufacturing practices system. Now, in addition to the SOP webinars, there are a number of other webinars that are available. There are some bonus webinars. For example, there's the bonus webinar, Dietary Supplements and Medical Foods in Physician's Practice, which is a separate webinar. The other bonus webinars, lawful copywriting, etc. We're also working on a special webinar just for physicians and other healthcare practitioners who have special needs because they own their own vitamin labels. Finally, of course, there are the terms of use, which are right here. And as always, as a good lawyer, we have good terms of use. This is essentially what you find here. You find access to the individual webinars, access to the bonus webinars, access to the standard operating procedure document itself, the actual SOPs, and access to the ebooks for each of the webinars. Some videos, other information, and of course, an example of the certificate of completion, which gets issued after the end of the webinars. So that is it, Sher. That's the entire system.
Terrific.
Yeah, no, I think it's very useful for people. I think it'll allow companies to access it. Oh, there's one more thing I should talk about here, and that's very quickly. Of course, there is the quiz that goes along with it, the actual test that you need to do, that you need to take in order to get that certification. So there is a test system. In fact, here's a good shot of a group of people who took the test. This is Dr. Group's staff, or at least the managers of the staff at the Global Healing Center in Houston, Texas. We do have an entire quiz system. We can either do it through electronically, or I've gone online on Skype with staff of the various companies, and I do the quiz live, which I think is always an interesting experience. We can modify and structure the program for the individuals. That's really what we can do. So that's where we are, Sher. Any questions? I know you're going to be working with a lot of companies. They need what we're offering them, and I'm really happy that we have an opportunity to do it. There we go. I'm back on.
You've made it so comprehensive and easy for companies, healthcare practitioners to get the job done. I think it's fantastic what you've done.
Well,
fantastic.
We know the FDA says it's not enough to have written standard operating procedures, which you must have. It's not enough to train your employees in those operating procedures. You have to get certified. You have to have proof that you were trained and when. And that's exactly what this program does. It's intended to meet the requirements so companies can get back to what they should be doing, which is producing great natural products. Thank you, Sher.